This is a message to all my men out there. Social media, society in general, has lied to you guys. And I know you hear this time and time again from every video about how to be a man, how to be successful.
So I measure time. I've compressed and condensed time. I've bent it. My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight.
How to feel fulfilled in life, how to grind and how to become your best self. All these things, videos, books, all kind of trainings you can go to in order to achieve a level of happiness or a level of fulfillment in your life, because you don't feel worthy unless you have these things in your life. And they point to having a certain amount of money.
I don't know how you guys could even live on that number. If I made 400 grand a year, I would be embarrassed.
Sometimes they point to you need to have a certain type of job or making a certain amount of income in order to be able to be fulfilled in life. And I think that is hurting you guys, because especially if you're 18 or especially if you're 25 or 35 and you're not on your purpose or on your grind or whatever they tell you, then you're not doing well in life. You're not killing it in life. You're not working out. You're not getting up at 4 in the morning.
So I would be up at 2:45.
You're not going running. You're not going to do all these things. And I think you need to find out what works for you. And everybody's timeline is different. Nobody's timeline is the same, right? Nobody's timeline to greatness, nobody's timeline to becoming successful, nobody's timeline to becoming whatever you're trying to be. The process and the road to get there is never the same, right? You're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days. Some things gonna go your way, some things not gonna go your way. It's life. But to think that there's a formula to this thing is insane. And to put so much pressure on yourself to figure out that formula at 18, 19, 20, 21, hell at 40, when we all doing this life thing for the first time, is insane. So I want you to take a breath. I want you to take a break. I want you to be able to rest. You need to sleep, right? All these things are important. And it doesn't make you less masculine that you don't make a certain amount of money. It don't make you less masculine because you don't drive a certain type of car. It doesn't make you less masculine if you don't have a certain type of house. It doesn't make you less masculine because of this, that, and the third. They're telling you got to provide a service. You got to do all these things to be useful. But you have to be useful to yourself. If you don't love yourself, you haven't taken care of yourself, you can't be useful to others anyway. And that might bring you joy. However, you have to be useful to yourself. What does that mean? And make sure you know how to make you happy before you go out into the world. Make sure you're okay with yourself. Make sure you're secure within yourself. And if you're not, that is okay. Like, it's okay. That takes time. You are in a process of evolving every day. It's almost like you learn yourself every day, because if you're evolving and constantly working on yourself, and not working on yourself like how people say, you gotta be in the gym, you gotta be journaling. Sometimes people don't got time for that. But you just take a few minutes to yourself on the way to work, a couple minutes before you go to sleep, things like that, just to reflect. And how every day is good. I'm telling you, sometimes my days are not the best. But I don't want you to think that you are only valued based on doing something or having something. You're just valued because you're valued because you're a human. That's it.
Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides some.
And when it comes to relationships, as a man, you hear that all the time. As a man, you should be doing this. As a man, you should be doing that. In order to get the girl, you gotta be doing this. You gotta have this. You gotta have that. You need to have a good relationship with yourself first. And a lot of people say that. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people are saying that. But they're not telling you how to do that. You need to sit, and they say this too. This is very cliched. I'm not saying it's not. You have to learn to sit with yourself and really understand who you are, what triggers you, what stresses you out. And the crazy part about that is going out and meeting people and learning that process. Because I have dated, right? And I've been in relationships and situationships, and I've been with people and I thought I liked this or I liked that, and turns out I didn't. Or there are certain things they did or they did and I didn't realize that I did like that, or I need that, or I need this, right? But I didn't learn that through dating. I didn't learn that through like actually taking action and going out and dating. Rejection by people, women, rejection by women and friendships and stuff like that is the human experience. You're supposed to get your heart broken because you put your heart on the line. When you date, or you're dating to marry, or you're dating to, find somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, you're putting yourself out there. That's one of the hardest things to do, but one of the bravest things you can do, right? You're not looked at as weak. You're not looked at as dumb for falling for somebody that didn't turn out to be who they're supposed to be. Everybody has, right? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you luck up and actually marry your first love, and y'all go on and have kids and stuff like that, and that's beautiful, right? But it also, on the same tip, it doesn't make you more of a man because you slept with so many women. It doesn't, right? That's something that men who haven't matured in their thinking thinks that's still cool, or think that's still dope. Thinks that's still whatever. My dad told me, what defines the man is the man that's walking in the shoes. What defines the man is the man walking in the shoes. Sometimes it's a good man that thinks and moves in a certain way, and it's the man that doesn't move correctly and you don't agree with. However, you define what type of person you are, and you're more than a man, meaning you're a complex human with emotions and everything. You're not a robot. You're not a person that is valued only for the things you can provide. I understand people love using that Chris Rock quote from his special and all that, but that's a select few of women that think like that. It's a select few women that say you gotta have this amount of money, this, that, and the third in order to date them. And I promise you, that's not the woman you want, so why are we mad? Why are we stressing? I promise you, the majority of women, you go out there and have genuine conversations, make genuine connections with people, you're gonna find somebody that's willing to work with you, help you through a process. And then, like I say, it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to admit that you're sad and don't know what you're doing, right? I know a lot of men seek services and all that, and it's just in your head all day that you're worthless, you're stupid, you're dumb. And you need to stop telling yourself that, because you're not. You're figuring it out just like everybody else, and not everybody else know what they're doing. That's the crazy part. Everybody in the world are just trying stuff. They're just trying stuff, and some of it works and some of it don't. Right now, I do YouTube, I'm trying stuff. I'm just doing stuff that makes me happy. I like doing this. This is what makes me happy. I do other stuff that makes me happy. I met people in the process of doing the stuff I love, and they also make me happy. But don't ever think you need to provide a service or have a certain amount of money or a car or whatever in order to be in rooms. Because the people that the people that say those things and try to tell you need to get in those rooms are not happy with themselves, right? Because they have to do these things. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And if you think you got people in your life like that, you need to get rid of those people. And that's the hard thing to do. I'm not saying it's easy, but it happens. And when you do that, it's a process. I promise you, I've lost people that I love and I care about deeply. And it wasn't by my own choice. It's just the way my life was going in order for me to be successful, right? Things like that happen all the time.
A woman is the most important thing in a man's life.
Nah.
Damn. Sorry, ladies.
It's really you. And this is so selfish, but people gotta understand what's in common between being selfish and selfless. Self. This world will socialize you to make you think you have to do all these things to be valuable. No one gives you props for just living, breathing, surviving. They only give it to you when you're thriving. So you gotta have accolade to be valuable, right? Wait, I'm 9 years old and just trying to figure out life. I'm not valuable. That's why a lot of times you see youngsters lose their way. You see a lot of crime in these bad neighborhoods because they're not told they're valuable just by breathing. and you actually are. When you get into the point where it's time to date, dating is nothing but data entry. So it's like a big safe with 20 digits on it. Good luck trying to crack that code on the first try, right?
Right.
But here's the problem, that's why the divorce rate's so high right now. People always put it on who they met, who they're with, who their spouse is, and what they're up to, and they lose sight of who they are. Because what we really are is just a design of 3 relationships. Your mama, your daddy, whether he was there or not, mama there or not, and you.
You know, human beings have mood swings. Like you go home and you're not happy with things, or you're mad at something or you're happy. That's a mood swing. It's okay to be human. Like, I don't have to be perfect for anyone here, nor do I have to be perfect for the public. So I'm not here to dispel any perception. I'm just here to be myself.
So in conclusion, don't give in to your lustful thoughts. Right? If you got a good woman on your side, or you're on social media a lot, you've seen a lot of sexual stuff. I know it happens. I struggle with it from time to time too. Don't give in to your lustful thoughts. Don't think that you need to make a certain amount of money, be in a certain type of shape, to drive a certain type of car, to have a certain type of house in order to attract women. Okay? You don't. You need to have good social interaction skills, right? You gotta go where you're wanted, meaning you have to know yourself. So like if you're into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, I'm into anime, go where anime people are at. You like to play chess or checkers, go with people where people playing chess and checkers at. You like to donate your time to helping people, go where people are donating time and helping people at. Go there, interact with those people, learn yourself. You're gonna meet like-minded people. Go where like-minded people are, and you're gonna find your tribe, find your community. You're not gonna be lost. You're never useless. You're never, you're not a useless person. You're not a worthless person. You always have value, right? Even when you're trying to figure things out, right? Don't ever think that you going through a rough patch right now, you not understand what you're gonna do with your life right now, you still living at home with your mom and all that stuff, but you're grinding, you're trying to figure it out, you know, or you may not have family and you feel like you're alone, you still have value because you're a human. You're creative, you're amazing, and you're a person that's gonna do great things. You just gotta put your mind to it. Your mind is telling you you're not. You can tell your mind today, right now, I'm great, and work towards greatness and become great. You don't have to be a movie star, you don't have to be a rapper, you don't have to be a streamer, YouTuber to become successful. But if you're taking care of yourself, that's successful. You're not hurting anybody and you helping the next person, that's successful. You're holding down a job right now, got a crib, not the best car, but you get around, you're successful. And you can always up your game whenever you want. But to think that you need to be providing a service or doing something or be at a certain level at a certain time is ludicrous and stupid. It's ludicrous and stupid. Think about certain things that you hear, like a lot of these gurus that's giving you so much advice on how to do these things and do these things. They've never done it. They never done it. They struggle too. Let yourself go.
You're gonna suffer it one way or the other. If you want to lose weight, you're gonna suffer. If you eating too much, you're gonna suffer. You feel me? It's up you. You gotta have to pick a struggle, dog. Yeah. And one way of life, however you want to put it. Because nobody out here got a smooth sailing. Now maybe some people, but for most of us who look like me and you, we gotta grind for it, bro. We gotta grind for it.